station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Tonight on DC News Now at 7, pressuring landlords to pick up the slack. How DC's Attorney General is addressing poor living and working conditions in the district while also trying to improve public safety. Plus, Republicans in Congress pass an education bill they say would give power to the parents. Democrats say it leaves kids behind. We'll bring you inside the cultural battle on Capitol Hill. And a prosecutor weighing charges against former President Donald Trump received a death threat today, just hours after Trump warned of death and destruction online. More on the unprecedented New York investigation coming up.
And good evening, everyone. I know kind of a dreary day across the DMV. We are tracking widespread rain. I will tell you when the rain stops coming up.
Good Friday evening, and thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 7. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz, and today, DC Attorney General Brian Schwab announced resolutions in multiple housing disputes. The result is a change to how landlords in wards 1, 5, and 8 are required to address threats to businesses and housing complexes. Now, the goal is also to promote safety and address poor investment from landlords that hinders living conditions. Our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming spent time in a few of these communities today talking to residents and people and also the police. Leonard, the Attorney General, and his office, they seem pretty serious about tackling quality of life and safety issues in the district.
That's exactly right. The new Attorney General says D.C. residents deserve to be safe and healthy in their homes. And he's so far willing to put the power of his office behind making that a reality for people weary from crime and poor housing in the district.
They try to keep the crime down, like, cause, you know, it's a high crime area, you know, so it's a lot to deal with. D.C.
resident Robin Chase is speaking of Alabama Plaza in Southeast D.C. that one police officer with a serious face called a war zone in broad daylight. It's one of 4 areas that D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab has targeted around the district. He's taken legal action against landlords to force them to bolster security, improve living conditions, and ensure safe housing. The owner of the plaza with a daycare, grocery store, and barbershop must now make security improvements that can curtail gun violence and drug activity.
If we have people that can actually talk and come forward and start making a change, you know, and some of the stuff might not happen. Action
was also taken against the former owners of Buena Vista Apartments in the Northwest to fund critical repairs and address lead problems. Also, an illegal nightclub was shut down at 209 Florida Avenue Northwest, and the owners of Worthington Woods Apartments must make significant upgrades. R.G. Wetherington is an Assistant Deputy Attorney General. She says these actions are an important step for citizens.
Based on the feedback we receive from the community, these are issues that are important to the community.
Some lawsuits were filed and later settled while others agreed to the AG's demands. The daycare at Alabama Plaza will have a fence installed, for example.
And a part of doing this is also being responsive, not just to residents who live in the nearby community, but people who also work in the area.
Chase says she hopes the police presence continues.
It'd be a little more better if we have police coming out, just checking on residents, saying, making sure everything is okay. Their presence, it really means a lot, and I guess people just don't understand that.
Some business owners declined comment or others could not be reached, but the AG's office says they have all but agreed to the security measures and improvements and expect them to be implemented soon. Reporting from the studio, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
All right, let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Janessa Webb. Janessa, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yeah, we made it, right? But we're all smiles because the weather is pretty dreary outside. Hopefully this weekend you get some time outside, and that time should be on Sunday. We are talking about very dreary conditions and pockets of pretty steady rain for the rest of the evening. Evening plans tonight, it will be a wet go until about 11 to the midnight hour, unfortunately, where it's just kind of a nuisance rain. I'm not saying any of this rain is going to be packing a punch, but it's definitely noticeable. This is out towards Chantilly, Loudoun County. It looks like Round Hill into the Boyce area across Highway 340. You're seeing a good pocket of rain that has been consistent here in the last few hours. This is all of the DC metro area from south to east. We are covered with rain, and that's going to be pretty fluid here for the next few hours as we make our way out to the Mountain State region, finally getting over that wind advisory, and so that's no longer in effect, so that's positive news. But this is a larger storm system that's causing a severe weather outbreak for the deep south and into the upper Tennessee Valley, and so we're going to watch all that moisture continue to stream well towards the east. Visibility, it is definitely down out there. If you are going to be out and about, low beams, they're going to be your friend from Manassas, Leesburg into Winchester. Hey, it's all about the weekend, what to expect. I'm going to break hour by hour down what you can expect for your Saturday and Sunday coming up. Tasmin?
Vanessa, thank you. And also tonight, a fiery crash involving a tanker truck briefly shut down I-795 at the intersection with Baltimore Beltway around 6 o'clock this morning. The driver was taken to the hospital, and just like the tanker crash in Frederick weeks ago, the tanker in today's crash was carrying fuel. No other injuries were reported. The road was temporarily closed, but reopened before 8 a.m. And an update out of Prince George's County, the car that was stolen last night with the Boston Terrier inside has been recovered, but the dog is still missing. Now on your screen is Gianni or John. He was inside of a 2016 Land Rover at a gas station on Annapolis Road when the car got stolen around 1:30 in the afternoon yesterday. Prince George's County Police say to please call them with any information. And House Republicans delivered on one of their key campaign promises today by advancing the Parents' Bill of Rights Act. GOP lawmakers say the bill would allow parents to be more involved in their children's education, and Democrats say it would hurt students. Jesse Tenor reports on the chances of it becoming law.
We're keeping our commitment.
Along party lines, the Republican-controlled House passed one of its major priorities Friday, the Parents' Bill of Rights Act.
The Democrats thought it was too extreme.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the bill would require public schools to provide parents with the curriculum and a list of the books and reading materials available in libraries. Schools would also have to obtain parental consent before changing students' pronouns or allowing them to use locker rooms and bathrooms matching their chosen identity.
This was a monumental day for us and for our party.
Louisiana Congresswoman Julia Letlow, who spearheaded the legislation, said it's all about giving fellow parents a voice.
I'm a mom, but I'm also an educator, and we know that when parents and educators form a partnership, that students succeed.
But Democrats call it a school control bill, arguing it puts politics over parents.
The extreme MAGA Republicans want to jam their right-wing ideology down the throats of students, teachers, and parents throughout America.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries warned the bill would lead to banning books from school libraries. And Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said it would exclude schools that don't comply from child nutrition programs.
That's it. Punish the poor kids. Make sure they don't have a meal.
The legislation now moves to the Senate, where Schumer promised
it will not see the light of day.
In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
And developing now after a drone in a strike in Syria injured 5 American servicemen last night and killed an American contractor. The U.S. retaliated today with a drone strike of their own. Activists in Syria says that the American bombing killed at least 4. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin blamed last night's strike against Americans on Iran's Revolutionary Guard. That's a proxy branch of Iran's army fighting in Syria. So far, Secretary Austin has not provided evidence to back up the claim. Now, the war in Syria has been raging since the 2011 Arab Spring protests. In the years since, the war has turned into a regional conflict with proxy armies backed by outside nations. That's including the U.S., Iran, and Russia. At least 300,000 have died in the war over the past 12 years. The United Nations says more than 14 million need humanitarian assistance. Syria was also struck by the 7.8 magnitude earthquake last month that killed more than 50,000. And former President Donald Trump said today that an indictment against him could result in potential death and destruction. In an online post at 1 in the morning, Trump also called the Manhattan District Attorney investigating him a degenerate psychopath who truly hates the USA. Now, the rant comes at the end of a week where the former president predicted that he would be arrested. Media outlets have also reported an indictment could be imminent. It all dates back to the former president's $130,000 payment to porn star Stormy Daniels a month before the 2016 election. The grand jury deciding whether to charge Trump will not meet again until Monday. And House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries responded to Trump's rhetoric today, saying that he could get somebody killed. At a news conference, Jeffries called the former president's words reckless, reprehensible, and irresponsible, saying if he keeps it up, he's going to get someone killed. Then later in the day, NBC reported that the Manhattan district attorney at the center of Trump's attacks received a death threat. NBC cited law enforcement sources who say that the FBI and New York police are investigating a letter to the DA, Alan Bragg, who says that it contained white powder and also a message reading, "Alan, I'm going to kill you." The letter was reportedly postmarked from Orlando, Florida. We're working to confirm more details of this alleged threat. So in a statement at DC News Now, the DA's office said that the powder was immediately contained and that multiple agencies determined there was no dangerous substance inside the package. And developing locally tonight, the Frederick County, Maryland Education Board is reviewing what's considered election material. This after a complaint was filed from FCPS when FCPS employees received a political letter during the general election. Our Michaela Newton has a story.
Election materials were found in the mailboxes of Frederick County Public School employees, which is prohibited by FCPS's Board of Education, something not everyone agrees with.
You're allowed to place things in mailboxes. It just can't be only about an election.
In a recent Board of Education meeting, a policy issue surrounding political activity was discussed. This comes after a complaint was filed by Cindy Rose when FCPS employees received flyers in their work mailboxes during the general election. Using FCPS resources for political activities is currently prohibited.
There is legal support that says a union does have a right to have a newsletter and give you news. And if it happens to also say there's an election coming up and here's some information and it's within that, then the legal teasing that out is, is it a duck? Is it campaign material, or is it their newsletter that happens to mention a very timely public-related event going on?
Cindy Rose, who is a candidate for office in October, says it's unfair for candidates not backed by unions.
Our candidates that aren't union backed, we're not given equal access to the school mailboxes. We're not allowed to go in there and put our information in the mailboxes. Should not be allowed. Or they should give equal access to every other candidate to those mailboxes.
A statement from the Board of Education says last October, the communication placed in some staff members' mailboxes was an association-produced newsletter called The Associate. It was not a political or campaign flyer. The publication is only distributed to association members and placed in mailboxes by association representatives after normal workday hours. The Board of Education said they will discuss the topic again in their May meeting. For DC News Now, I'm Michaela Newton.